It's been more than 50 years since he debuted as the beloved Captain James T. Kirk in the original series of Star Trek. William Shatner boldly flew to the edge of space. The Hollywood actor has become the oldest person to go to space as he blasted off aboard the Blue Origin suborbital capsule. Are you interested in how this flight went? How far did the crew go? What does all this mean for the future of commercial spaceflight? And what is the current state of space tourism? Then keep on watching until the end. The 90-year-old actor launched Wednesday aboard a rocket and a capsule developed by Blue Origin, the private spaceflight company founded by the founder of Amazon and one of the wealthiest men on the planet, Mr. Jeff Bezos. Flying alongside Shatner were two paying customers and a Blue Origin employee. They included Chris Boschhausen, co-founder of small satellite company Planet Labs, and Glenn DeVries, co-founder of Media Data, a software company. Audrey Powers, vice president of mission and flight operations at Blue Origin, represented the company on the flight. They were given a couple of days training, although there was nothing really major for them to do during the flight other than enjoy it. The rocket and capsule system, known as New Shepard, is fully automatic. On Wednesday, the mission was delayed by nearly an hour as crews at the launch pad worked to ensure that the rocket was ready for flight. High winds at the Texas launch site had forced Blue Origin to push the expedition from its originally scheduled time earlier in the week. The New Shepard rocket and capsule are designed for suborbital jaunts, which don't actually enter into orbit around Earth, but rather fly to the edge of space at an altitude of more than 65 miles, where passengers can experience around 4 minutes of weightlessness. To get to space, the crew is strapped inside a crew capsule perched on top of the rocket. Once high above the Earth, the capsule and rocket separate, and passengers briefly float throughout the cabin. Then, both pieces of the vehicle fall back to Earth. The capsule lands under parachutes while the rocket reignites its engines and lands upright. Shatner's trip was Blue Origin's second launch of an all-civilian crew. The company's inaugural flight in July was a high-profile and high-stakes event, with Bezos, his brother, and 2 other passengers aboard. The Amazon founder escorted the 4 passengers to the launch pad. The flight launched from a site in West Texas, southeast of El Paso. After liftoff, the rocket accelerated toward space at 3 times the speed of sound. At about 250,000 feet, the New Shepard capsule separated, taking Shatner and his fellow crew members to the edge of space. After reaching a peak altitude of 351,000 feet, the craft descended under parachutes and landed again in the Texas desert. During the flight, Shatner tweeted a quote from the 17th century physicist Isaac Newton. "I do not know what I may appear to the world, but to myself I seem to have been only like a boy playing on the seashore, diverting myself and now and then finding a smoother pebble or a prettier shell than ordinary, whilst the great ocean of truth lay all undiscovered before me." When the capsule touched down in the Texan desert, it was quickly surrounded by ground teams. Mr. Bezos himself opened the hatch to check that everyone inside was okay. After Shatner climbed out of the capsule, he hugged Bezos and shared how moved he was by the brief trip. "What you have given me is the most profound experience I can imagine," he told Bezos through tears. "I'm overwhelmed. I had no idea." After Shatner landed, he shed tears, emotional about what just happened. "What you have given me is the most profound experience," Shatner told Blue Origin's founder. "I'm so filled with emotion about what just happened. It's extraordinary, extraordinary. I hope I never recover from this." Shatner argued after that everybody needs to see what he saw, even comparing the experience of transitioning from blue sky to the darkness of space to what dying might feel like. "Is that what death is?" he asked. Shatner, who recalled feeling jittery before takeoff, spoke about what it was like to accelerate to the edge of space. He also described seeing the planet's thin atmosphere and gazing back at the curvature of the Earth. "There's this soft blue," Shatner said, "and it's so thin, and you're through it in an instant." After the immediate celebrations with family and friends, the crew then lined up to receive their Blue Origin astronaut pins. Shatner's expedition was the latest in what has been a recent flurry of space tourism flights. 9 days before Bezos flew to the edge of space, British billionaire Richard Branson completed his own suborbital journey, riding aboard a rocket-powered vehicle developed by his own space tourism company, Virgin Galactic. Blue Origin and Jeff Bezos haven't announced final pricing for their suborbital flights. Tickets are expected to cost several hundreds of thousands of dollars. But Mr. Bezos said that Blue Origin had sold nearly $100 million worth of tickets to future passengers. The company hasn't disclosed the price of a seat on New Shepard. Space tourism is going through something of a renaissance currently. Throughout the 2000s, a number of high-value individuals paid to visit the International Space Station, ISS, but these flights, organized under the patronage of the Russian Space Agency, ceased in 2009. Now, the sector is being rekindled, and this time it looks more resilient, simply because there are many more private space companies chasing the business, and this should bring down prices for a wider pool of customers. As well as the new Shepard trips organized by Jeff Bezos, the British entrepreneur Sir Richard Branson is offering rides in his Virgin Galactic rocket plane. And then, of course, there's Elon Musk, whose Dragon capsule will send people orbiting to circle the Earth for several days, as it did for the privately funded Inspiration 4 crew last month. While Mr. Bezos simply invites some people to fly on New Shepard, he is selling other seats, and whereas Sir Richard Branson puts a ticket price from $450,000 or £330,000 against the journey, the Amazon founder doesn't disclose the fees paid by the likes of Mr. Boschhausen and Mr. DeVries. Blue Origin is planning one more crew flight this year, with several more crew flights planned for 2022. In addition to trips to the edge of space, people with deep pockets may soon be able to pay for orbital experiences and longer stays in microgravity. Last year, SpaceX, the spaceflight company founded by billionaire Elon Musk, launched 4 private passengers into orbit around Earth on a 3-day expedition. The flight made history as the first orbital launch with an all-civilian crew. SpaceX is also preparing to launch 3 private passengers, who each paid $55 million, to the International Space Station early next year. It's an intergalactic rivalry, and the stakes have never been higher. And with that bombshell, it's the end of our video. Thanks for watching. Hit that subscribe button, and for anything else related to space, keep it here at Space Authority.